Hi, I'm going to give you a quick recap of today's trades. I made a short here and a long here, up to here, to explain the logic behind those trades. So you can understand that even though the chart, it doesn't look the same in terms of candle movements, the logic behind is always the same. Alright, so we had a completely bullish bias. Direction was completely bullish up to this point. And I said that the price made a dip near breaking this high, which means to me that we're failing to make a new high. So alright, I see this over here. The price makes its sweep of this first touch to this area, comes and sweeps this, rejects the second touch, it sweeps, and here it starts to rise. Well arrived. I come over here and see that the price is starting to accumulate. And do this. I hadn't taken any more entries all day, since rhythmic servers are terrible when there's high volume. So basically, I'm not even watching the open. So, well, the price gets here. What happens when I start seeing this? As I've told you, if there's a strong impulse and it starts to accumulate, usually the price will sweep one side to touch something pending and then go in the other direction. So it simply accumulates, manipulates, distributes, right? So up until this point, I see that the price is accumulating in a minute. We're talking about imbalances. When there are several imbalances in a temporality, we go up in temporality until we find only one. Then, what we had here in 5 minutes, when this candle closes, while we are still in accumulation, we already had a 5-minute imbalance, which in turn closed. This one here closes the bearish imbalance well, which can give me an indication that simply this failure to set a new high was simply to come touch something here, or to complete the pattern, since it denies me the possibility that it would have come to this imbalance, or list simply to continue, right? So the moment I close that this is how I read an investment fair value. Okay, so I have this imbalance. There are several on the 1 minute, but I already know there's a 5-minute one. I already know there's something pending here until this moment. What can I be thinking? Until this moment, while I'm here. Let's suppose we haven't seen anything that's happened. I'm here in the current price action. What can I be saying? If I want to go to the Tsista, and I want to go to the Tsista too, because here's the trap, that this means it doesn't signify a structural change. This is simply exhaustion in the price generating liquidity, which is going to be for upwards to then give a continuation, similar to how the M's work. So I still have that. That is which one? If it's there. So until this point, I'm going to be saying that I'm going to wait for the price to come down, the 5-minute imbalance, and only then up. Let it come. Take this out. And only then I go up. I might be thinking that. But I stop for a moment and see that it went up before taking all of this out. I had the chart more or less like this. I usually have the chart like this. I don't get lost in the candles. I don't scrutinize every candle, every little thing. No, I normally have it zoomed out. I've trained my eyes, so I know where my highs and lows are. So, I had the chart more or less like this, saw that the price was going up, zoomed in, and it just started to fall here. I saw that some fractal touched here, and then when I saw this, and it starts to go away, and starts to fall in this aggressive way, the times I have seen it in the right scenario, it's most common that it comes and takes everything. It simply accumulates, manipulates, distributes, and knowing that I have a pending imbalance, I went short. Here I saw that this candle was forming. It broke this area that had a small first touch here to continue with a market entry. Here, I think I didn't use a stop order. I entered at market price. That's it, and I got almost 20 points there, and then from there, the price... The price started to rise. So my initial idea while I was watching the accumulation was to come here and go long. But knowing that I have that unmitigated, and now that I'm seeing this, well, on the contrary, and those who know me know that I'm someone who takes a trade from a narrative, and that's it. So this happens to me a lot. Sometimes I anticipate where the price is going to go, and from there, the general movement of the narrative is given. But I already took my part of that narrative, and that's fine with me, and I leave for a while until I find something else. That was the first one, and the second trade was here. It's this long one here too. I entered the market that's in that other trade we have. We notice an accumulation forming, and I see the price dropping at this point. And it rejects this. It ends up sweeping all of this in 5 seconds. It touched this. Well, in a minute we see it too. This was in 5 seconds. This was the fractal responsible for the candle pattern of the flip swipe, or this area to touch that. When I see this reaction, I practically entered the market, just by simple intuition now, because I didn't enter from here. Some would ask why I didn't enter from here. And there's the beauty of confirmations. Look, the price had reached here, had given a tap. In fact, I was watching all this live. This was quite amazing. It was beautiful to see this, how he made the first move to this responsible. He removed him by a tick, kept respecting the responsible, and left. But then why didn't I enter here? Simple. It did not give me the confirmation. What is the confirmation of the video, where I show you and explain the M? A mistake in placing a new low, and not having anything here that could make a kind of double top against me. was the perfect scenario. I could have placed a buy stop here, but look, that the price did not go. It did not confirm. It would not activate the order. Therefore, I did not take a loss, waiting for the price to give indications. Then it made that tremendous drop. Immediately, I say, candle pattern with this. Here, it went down, up, took out the high of that candle. It gave that candle pattern. And I entered the market the moment I saw that this was being respected, and that it rejected this low. After that rejection in 1 minute, I kept watching this a bit, and seeing that it rejected this low from this point, I entered the market around here and left it. My initial stop loss was a bit, if I am not wrong, it was below this fractal, below this wick, below 50%, giving it the possibility to come touch the flip area, and that in 1 minute, it had left me a wick. So I wanted to protect myself a bit from the possible failure of setting a new load. And if it did go, then I was not really protecting myself. Under this point, I was giving it space to come here, to sweep. And here it begins to go. Here, it effectively comes and sweeps and arrives at 30 of this flip again. And that's where it starts to go now. Because I took the order out here, and because I didn't let it go all the way up here, I had a bit of an eye on ICT. Obviously, a system that gave me results for quite a while. And it's nice when it works. And this is something that won't leave me. These 5-minute order blocks leave such a clean delivery. It's rare to find so many consecutive candles like this. So it's time to see this and start to see that all the accumulation starts to respect this. Well, if you haven't seen ICT, you probably won't understand me very well. But this is very nice. So I didn't want to be greedy with that trade. And I simply closed it there, just when it was reaching like this, the start of the movement, and it started to be around here, more or less in this candle. I closed that market. It was a good decision. And here, watch how it then reached 50 of this. It exactly tried to make the move, but failed to make a new high. What does this tell us? Based on the video of system functions, that the bullish move is failing to fulfill its function. Thus, if we are making a bearish delivery, because the double bottom missed to make the strong move, and that's where the price starts to fall, and fall, and fall, until the market close. The market close around here. Price came to be around here, a double top, sweeping this high over here, U high, and here, simply finished delivering that order flow it was carrying. So those were the two trades, which completed our sequence for this session. Each trade followed a clear strategy, ensuring good returns. If I'm not mistaken, there was also an issue of imbalance around here. 15-minute imbalance closed here. This imbalance that was around here for 15 minutes was closed, so that also helped. Having that bearish idea, and well, in general, for those who speak Spanish and were in the community Q&A session, you saw that everything I mentioned here was fulfilled perfectly. Here on the 30th first, I didn't want to see the price going up yet. I didn't want to see long positions. I wanted to see a bearish first week of September. And that's how it was, because the market generates liquidity for when it's necessary to take it out, and for when the awaited news is already out. So, first week, liquidity was generated, then the movements start to happen. Initial moves, then positioning. Now it's very evident that we're getting close to that. And this is where people start to lose, because they don't understand the context. Then the awaited news arrives, and here again, there was an origin over here that I showed you on the disk. This was its first touch, and the price again. I don't reach those highs. That's why you shouldn't think of yourselves as liquidity hunters. That's why I believe ICT trains people's minds poorly. The goal here is not to be right about something, but to understand the price to take advantage of certain movements. And that origin generated this move that the majority of ICT wouldn't have expected. Even ICT itself didn't expect it. Michael didn't expect either. That's why you saw that no execution was posted. Because, what did he do? He was there recording his longs, waiting for it to take those highs. I don't take those equal hikes. The price was returned. So of course I don't have any execution to show my people that I'm the best in the world, and multiple demo accounts are created. And every time it breaks down, logs, the next one immediately to delete the previous executions and starts buying floors until it really picks up the floor, and then it starts marking its asks to kings until they arrive later. There wouldn't be a video of which he looks at and says this was going to break with the news. And then it was supposed to drop all the way to October, but it didn't happen. And then he brags when the price does that. But at night, where is it? Where is it here? It is. See, this. And it's not just him. That's how a lot of people are on social media, who just brag and pose when something happens, but don't show the many times during this process they understood nothing and lost money. So it's useless for them to be pointing out levels and telling you prices if they don't explain why, if they don't give you the possibilities of a context. So there you go. Try to avoid all that toxicity on social media, and I hope the content can be useful to you.